All right, everybody, Bryce here coming at you with another real quick crypto market update. Okay, and now when the markets are this volatile and we see such near-term downside pressure and selling, when we see networks going offline like the Luna and Terra ecosystem where the stablecoin came unpegged and that's caused all sorts of chaos in the markets, futures markets, options markets, in crypto. It's a real kickstart of volatility. When you have one of the top 10 biggest cryptocurrencies start to have a little bit of an unravel, and that marked with another kind of a backdrop of this geopolitical instability, and the VIX is still super high. We have downside in the S&P and in the Nasdaq, and so we're seeing crypto faced with a lot of pressure. And I think pressure makes diamonds, right? And I think we all know that. And crypto will come out of this on the other side. But we're going through a kind of like a culling of the herd, if you will. And what's important during this period, when we kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, if you will, it's important to just zoom out. And it's important to acknowledge the long-term trends. Right? Because if you look at the price charts, they're going to be up and down, and they'll confuse you. You'll sell at the bottom, you'll buy at the top, right? Because humans are kind of hardwired to sell when there's lots of fear and uncertainty, and they're hardwired to buy when there's lots of positivity and excitement. And so, part of succeeding in the markets is kind of training yourself to be rewired a little bit. And so right now, since we do have so much fear, again, I think it is important to zoom out, and there's still a tremendous amount of bullish activity in the private markets, as well as in the public markets. But one of the things that I saw recently was one of the ecosystems from Dapper Labs. Dapper Labs is one of the largest builders and providers of NFT infrastructure. One of their coins that trades, very hotly traded coin. These guys just raised $700 million for an ecosystem fund to support, $725 million to support NFT development and infrastructure for NFTs. So while we see, this rotation from, maybe some of these smart contract platforms aren't panning out as promised, and maybe some of the DeFi applications aren't panning out as promised, we see the NFT space really start to catch some excitement, some further excitement. And one of the other things that I saw, which was tremendous, was the fact that there's been already in 2022, there's been 20 Bitcoin ATMs added to the world every single day, right? And so already 5 months in, they've added 20. I want to pull up the chart here real quick. I think it was something like 3,000 ATMs, 3,000 Bitcoin ATMs added around the world since January 1st. So what that tells me is that despite the fluctuations in price, we're having some of the most significant upswing in infrastructure to get Bitcoin and crypto in the hands of many people all around the world, so that by the time the volatility subsides and the uptrend resumes, Bitcoin will be more accessible to more people, and it'll be fulfilling its long-term vision, its long-term promise, all of which has not changed, right? Bitcoin is still a permissionless global digital ledger, right? Crypto, right? Crypto is this global decentralized platform for applications that can't be stopped by governments, that can't be stopped by private institutions or corporations, right? Crypto is about democratizing the access to finance, and that hasn't changed, right? Despite the prices. In fact, the lower that prices go, the more incentivized certain slower moving investors, more value style investors are, they're incentivized to kind of get up off their seats and start to deploy capital. Because once these really, really, really sharp spikes downwards happen, the prices don't stay low for long. They kind of wick down and they bounce right up and the trend resumes, and it kind of scares out a lot of people in a really quick, short amount of time, and then the trend resumes. And so I could see something like that occurring where we have another really sharp spike down. But guess what? Guess who the winners are going to be? The winners are going to be those who were prepared, who had their bids on the books, who were properly managing their risk. And at the end of the day, if the price goes down 10%, 15%, 20%, if you have been buying and if you are a crypto investor, it is your duty, it is your job to continue buying, as these lower prices come. At least that's what I believe in. At least that's what I'm doing, right? That's how I think about the markets. And everyone's a genius in a bull market, right? But though I think that the people who stick around during a bear market are the ones who actually get rich, right? Because these are when the opportunities happen. When one man's trash is another man's treasure. So, we saw it in the last bear market. People were selling tokens for pennies on the dollar, just because they're like, oh, well, we lost faith in this project, and people just had an emotional response to low prices. While at the other side, people were like, hey, we're just now entering the space, and we see this project getting dumped, so we're going to buy up the discount. And then fast forward a year, 2 years later, the person who ended up buying all the fear and all the selling and the panic during the bear market was the one who won 2 years down the line. And so, I really do think that, the kind of environment that we're in right now is really conducive to buying and to holding. This is when you're going to get the best deals, right? It's easy to buy during a bull market when everybody else is buying, and but we see sometimes how that ends, right? A lot of irrational exuberance, a lot of excess, and when it unwinds, right, it's the stairs up and it's the elevator down. And so, long story short, this market is volatile. This market's absolutely, mathematically like 5 to 6 times more volatile than the stock market. So kind of come in with that knowledge and strap in, buckle up, because the volatility is where all the opportunity is. And if you could be on the right side of the trade, and if you could identify the right coins to be buying during the volatility, that is when you become rich, right? That is when you can succeed long term. And that's what this is all about. So if you're not already subscribed to a service where you could get technical analysis, right, with the charts, fundamental analysis on the top cryptos with reasoning why, the reasonings kind of behind why these tokens might be the future, and also which tokens have the red flags and aren't worth holding. And if you don't have a subscription service that already kind of dives into all that stuff, as well as buy alerts and trade alerts, sell zones for the perfect prices for these cryptos, as well as a community of over 10,000 crypto investors and traders that are kind of trying to all navigate the markets together. Guys, if you don't have anything like that, but you're interested, well, click that button below, right? Just scroll down a little bit, click the button. It's an orange button. And for $1, you could get a 2-week trial to Crypt Nation. You could see everything that we're doing over here and how we're navigating these choppy waters of the crypto market and how we're crushing it, guys. And we've been through bull market and bear market, back to a bull market, back to a bear market. And we've been around. We've got a team of analysts that's hustling day in and day out, bull market or bear market, to find the best opportunities and to bring those opportunities to our subscribers at the best possible price points. And that's what we're determined to keep doing, regardless of volatility in the market. We thrive on this stuff. We love it because we know that we're working harder than anybody else out there in order to find the best tokens during this volatility. When everyone else is running away and saying, oh, we're going to come back when prices are back high, we're saying, no. This is when we set our positions, and this is when we prepare for riches, okay? That's what you got to do, and we're here for you guys. So again, if you want to come and see what all the good stuff we're cooking up here over at Crypt Nation, hit that button below. $1 2-week trial. All right, we'll see you in there.